Hey everyone, welcome to our first episode in the 2026 edition of Coffee and Conversations on Kendi K all day. This is the show where we spotlight real creators and real people who may not even be creators, who are doing real work and getting real results. Now, today, friends, I am super excited because we have a guest who is not just losing weight, she is losing excuses, she's building discipline, and she is publicly showing up and doing the things that matter most. You probably know her from YouTube and Instagram as Amy Loses It, but she also has another channel, If You Seek Amy K. Friends, she has built a very loyal audience, and I am super pleased to introduce to some and present to others our special guest, Amy from Amy Loses It. Welcome in, Amy.
Well, thank you so much for having me today.
It is my pleasure. And it just occurred to me earlier today as I was working on our show and making sure we had some visuals in place and everything. It just occurred to me that you are my first guest on Coffee and Conversations for 2026. And so this makes this a
Woohoo!
super special occasion. Yes. Amy, tell us, for folks who may not know you, and there's not many who don't know or have heard of you in the YouTube streets, especially in the circles where I am as a lady of a particular age. Amy, would you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you. But this time, I'm going to flip it just a little bit. Tell us a little bit about you. Who is Amy before YouTube channels?
Of course, my name is Amy, and I am 51 years old. And before YouTube, I just kind of sat around at home and it did nothing other than work from home. The pandemic, obviously, 2020, I was able to just start servicing my clients at the time right from home and didn't have to go anywhere. And just a cat mom. I got divorced. Let's see. I separated in 2017, got divorced in 2018, so I ended a 26-year marriage. And so that was a lot because I got married when I was 18. So all of my adult life, I had been married to someone, but it was not a fun marriage. My partner was a pathological narcissist. So I was really at a low point before YouTube, and I was falling apart at the seams. So I really struggled with the disease of obesity, had no idea what it was, and didn't know that that's why I kept failing my diet over and over and over again. And hey, Grace, nice to see you. Big fan of my channel, and I'm a big fan of hers. And so I really was just at my low point. And January 1st of 2025, I decided I had to do something. And I wasn't sure what it was at that point, but I knew I had to lose weight and I had to be able to live. And for me, I had to live for my cats because, I am the sole provider. And that's
She's a
Marcia.
cat mom, friends. She's a certified cat mom. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
And if we're lucky, Marcia will fall off the arm because she falls asleep and she hits the floor. She's done it once today.
Bless her.
So she
I
just
don't
goes
know if we
right
are,
off.
I don't know if we need to hope for that or pray that that doesn't happen.
It's kind of funny. So she's always fine. She's fine.
So
But
we've got Marsha, we've got Moran,
Malibu
Malibu,
is,
Malibu.
yeah, he's my rag doll, and he was bouncing off the walls. I don't know where he is. And Sheldon, I've got a little tan fluffy thing named Sheldon, and then I've got a black and white cat named Kevin, and he's being grouchy somewhere in a corner.
Okay.
So
Cat mom,
it's a
cat
house
mom.
full, absolute house full. So in January of 2025, I decided that I needed to try and secure my financial future, and I needed to figure out a way to make more money than what was coming from my primary income because I had some emotional debt, which some in the line of work that I do, I work in finance. It was really hard for me to swallow that I got myself in debt, because when I divorced, I didn't have any debt because I used the house funds to pay everything off. But uh, emotional eating, emotional spending, sometimes you just can't help yourself. So I needed to revamp my life. And then I'm like, oh, well, look at these people on YouTube that they're just recording videos. I can do that, right? I paid $50,000 for a degree in digital media at one point in my
Oh,
life.
wow. That
Like,
explains a lot. That explains a lot. Wow.
yeah. So I'm like, I need to start using it, and I need to pick myself up off the floor and figure it out. And so I started dieting and didn't get very far, and then finally just found Zepbound, and uh, then just started recording myself in my bedroom, just practicing. I was terrible, Kendi. You have no idea. Like, I probably 3 to 4 months, I took the time to try and like rehearse. I was recite scripts. I couldn't do it. I turned on the camera. I couldn't speak without having a script, and then I couldn't memorize a script. All the things that I tried for months. I even cried about it because I'm like, this is ridiculous. I got to figure this out. So it took 4 months before I could record my first video. And I honestly, I would sit and I would memorize 2 lines, and I would say those 2 lines, and then I'd stop and memorize 2 lines, and then I would say those 2 lines, and I would just edit out the pauses in between or edit out the bad takes.
Uh-huh.
So that's how I started, was just memorizing scripts. And now, like, I do use a teleprompter on occasion, like for my usually my cruise stuff that's got a lot of info in it. But since starting to do the lives, it's become so much easier to just off the cuff do a video. So I did a lot of research, like 6 to 8 months research about YouTube, to figure out like how to do the channel and like what was the best thing to do. So yeah, I just put a lot of effort into me at the beginning of last year.
Hmm. And I applaud you for that, Amy. And so do so many others. They're just rooting for you. And as I was kind of binge watching your content on both
Yeah.
channels in preparation for my first interview for 2026 on Coffee and Conversations, I already loved your personality, but to learn more about you and your backstory, it just endeared me even more to you. And so you're my friend in my head, Amy.
Oh, well, thank
It just
you.
it just works because I hear so much of me in your story, right? Just knowing that, you know, as we get to be 50 and you're 51, so we
Hmm.
are officially ladies of a particular age, it's
Yeah.
important for us to start thinking about retirement and making
Hmm.
sure that we are in a good place because I want to be fabulous at 50 and beyond.
Yeah.
And, health is, in order for that beyond to be a good thing, my health and my physical health, and frankly, Amy, my weight,
Hmm.
our weight, we've got to control that as a big
Yeah.
factor in your overall health and wellness. And so I just applaud you. I applaud what you're doing on Amy Loses It and your transparency on the channel. Thank you for being so transparent and just sharing that much about you, life before YouTube, what brought you to YouTube. And as you can see, I struggle with even reading a teleprompter or even reading a script because as I fumble through that introduction, but I don't know why, because Amy, welcome to Kendi K's Place. Make yourself at home. And if you are watching this stream, thank you, friends, for being here. So go ahead and hit the like button now because we're just going straight in. So, Amy, what made you talk in general about what made you start your channel, but let's
Hmm.
focus on Amy Loses It because you just hit a big milestone on that channel.
Yeah.
What made you start that channel and share your weight loss journey on that channel?
Well, I didn't want to start the channel. to be honest, because I have had so much trauma surrounding weight loss in my life. My father, unfortunately, had mental illness and convinced me that I was overweight as a child when I wasn't. So I always had that diet mentality growing up, and then it just became even worse as I got older. And when I started YouTube, I didn't want to do anything about weight loss. Yep, the cat just fell off the chair. Um, I didn't want to do anything about weight loss because I was so traumatized by it and I didn't want it to be my identity. But when I started doing my cruise channel, I was trying to figure out, like, well, what content did people want to see? So I did a bunch of different types of videos, and people responded to the diet and they responded to the cruise content. So I was advised by, business advisor, and we'll talk about that later, but I was advised to split the channel because they're two different content. And I'm like, oh, I don't really want to do this because, like, I don't I don't want to talk about my weight anymore. I just want it off my body. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm like, okay, fine. Fine, I'll do it. And I think the pressure has really been off of me on Amy Loses It because I wasn't thinking this channel was gonna take off like it did compared to the other channel. I didn't think this one was gonna get monetized first. Like, I started this channel on July 18th. So, it took, like, what, 5.5 months to get monetized. And,
Congratulations.
so
Full
full
monetization.
monetization. Yes, and let me tell
Hearts in
you.
the chat for Amy, please. Hearts in the chat
Yeah,
for Amy. Y'all, that is no small feat. We've got a lot of content creators
yeah,
because everyone knows Amy loses it in the YouTube streets. So we've got
yeah,
a lot of content creators and we've got,
mhm,
frankly, just a lot of fans of Amy Loses It on this stream. Hearts in the chat for Amy for being to full monetization in just 6 months. So I did not realize, again, our YouTube journeys
yeah,
and our lives outside of YouTube, the intersection is real, right? Because
yeah.
I see so much of you in me, minus the cats. I'm not a cat mom.
I have to tell you, I've got one cat that would win you over. So Sheldon. Sheldon would make you love him. So he's definitely a favorite. But yeah, I was really surprised at how much my channel took off, and I think a lot of it was I get a lot of comments about, well, thank you for being so transparent, and thank you for talking about things that other people don't talk about, because I think there wasn't this pressure to make the channel perfect. It was just like, oh, well, people like the content, let me make it. And I was really counting on my cruise channel to take off even more. Now that one is almost fully monetized, so I'm not far behind. I think I'm at 640 subscribers, so not too far behind. Uh, but and then I started doing the live streams, and then I was just shocked at, like, how many people kept coming back. And or I get a lot of people on the replay, which, when I talk to, like, the business people that I work with, they're like, "Oh, well, live streams aren't always that evergreen, and you're not always going to get a lot of replays," but I actually do, because I do have a set time for my live, and
Mhm.
then a lot of people know that, oh, well, it's going to be on Thursday, and if I can't make it, then I'll just watch it later in the evening. So in the first couple days I do get a lot of people rewatching it, and I think some of it's because I do, like, make sure I have a topic as well. Like, I have like I have a specific, I do my weigh in, and then I have, like, a topic that I really delve into, and then there's time for chat at the end.
Yeah, and I think that's, again, you really have hashtag channel goals because
Hmm.
you are really showing, and those who might be a little bit smaller or a little bit newer to YouTube, how
Hmm.
it's done. And friends, don't worry about it. We are saving all of that creator content talk. We're saving it for later in this stream. And so, y'all, if you've got questions for Amy about being on a GLP-1, about your weight loss to date, about what do you do when you are feeling judged. And I'm talking about, as we do life, as curvy women. And let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Do you prefer plus size, curvy, or do you just say, I'm a human, period?
Honestly, none of that bothers me. Like, I don't really have a preference. I think like curvy is, I think brings a better picture in my mind, if you know what I mean. But like, I don't get all caught up in it. I know a lot of people like get all upset because people are like, oh, don't call it plus size clothing or blah blah blah. I don't care. I just like, there's just things that don't bother me about it. I think the only time I really ever get hurt about it uh, is if a family member says something not in a nice way about but most of the time, like I just let it roll right off my back. So,
Ooh, that's one of my favorite sayings. Let it roll off your back like
mhm,
water on a duck, right?
yeah,
Water on a duck's feather, it just rolls off their back.
yeah,
Questions are already rolling in. Y'all feel free to do your questions. We're going to save content related questions for the end of the stream, even though I'm going to make sure we're mixing a few of them in. But we have saved, if all things work well, we have saved a very big chunk of time at the end of this stream after the break. So that we can make sure that we talk about content creation, because again, there are so many content creators who want to pick your brain, so to speak, Amy,
yeah.
and learn more how you were successfully able to fully monetize a channel in just a little over 6 months, or right at 6 months. I
Mhm.
became a fully monetized channel in 6 months, starting at about 200 subscribers. So virtually, 200
Wow.
kind, committed humans who had committed to my channel, took that channel to full monetization, and became a initially monetized channel in July. And then by
Wow.
the end of August, fully monetized. Yes. And I've been going strong ever since. So again, you are super inspiring to so many, Amy, and super thank you for accepting my invitation to come and interview with us for Coffee and Conversations. So we've got some questions, but I'll ask you this first. Would you share again what GLP-1 you are using? And question to losing it grades. No, I am not on GLP-1, but I hope to be very soon. So
Yay.
y'all, if you're a Christian and you believe in the power of prayer, pray that all things work well. I've got to go through a few little steps for insurance. But go ahead, Amy, talk a little bit about the GLP-1 journey for you, because I think you switched
Mhm.
GLP-1, did you not? Go ahead.
Well, I do take a Zepbound or terzepatide, I think is how it's pronounced. So I do switch between compounded and name brand. So it's just really, I had been on compounded to start with, and then I didn't find that it was working that great for me. Uh, and then I started seeing a new doctor who said, "Oh, could you pretty please like take the name brand?" And it's like going on, like you can get it through this coupon program for $500 a month. So I did that for quite a while until a couple months ago when I realized I was out of my savings account was empty. It was a big fat goose egg of dollar bills. And so I'm like, well, I guess I really need to get some compounded medication and try and fill in the gaps. So I've kind of been ordering Lilly every 45 days because that has a much longer expiration date on it. But I've then kind of been filling in with the compounded. So I did end up doing a few things in my personal life that was able to free up a little bit of cash. Actually sold my wedding ring, and to be able to put some money back in my to put money back
Good
in
for
my
you.
savings to be able to pay for that. Because sure, it was sort of sentimental, but I honestly had so much bad attached to that that I'm like, you know what, like, why don't I do something for me to take care of my health? But I don't know if you saw my latest
You
video
really,
that I dropped yesterday about the differences between the pill and the two different injectables. So if you're getting ready to go on one of the medications, it might actually be really helpful to see the differences because they are like the Ozempic and the Wegovy are really a different medication than the Zepbound, even though they share one component. having the second component is what I truly need and why I have never entertained going on. Uh, it would be for me, it would be Wegovy because I don't have any issues with my glucose levels, so I don't qualify for anything under the diabetic uh, prescription. So I just have to use it for weight loss. Um, but yeah, so the GIP component is really great for me because I do have a problem with the set point problem where my body's constantly fighting to keep me at a higher weight.
Mhm.
And also not burning calories. So I could go on a diet and exercise 5, 6 days a week, 7 days a week, and still not move the scale. And then if I was on a diet and I messed up like one day, that would blow my diet out of the water for a month at least, where I would stall. And so, yeah, so I personally need that GIP component of the
Mhm.
medication. So that's what really works for me. So I'm excited about like new stuff coming out that also has those two, but then the glucagon agent that helps burn even more fat coming up with retatrutide. So I'm really seriously anticipating that, and I can't wait for it to happen.
We can't either, and we're going to be
Yeah,
with you, binge watching your content on Amy Loses It all along the way. Another
yeah.
question, great questions coming in. Y'all go ahead and share your questions about Amy's weight loss journey because that is all tracked on the Amy Loses It channel. And moderators, would you please drop the channel link? We didn't do that as part of the setup, so drop the channel link. But friends, if you click on the description box, you will find Amy's channel links to both of Amy's channels. So moderators, would you drop Amy's channel links to Amy Loses It and for your cruise channel, share the name of your cruise channel as well.
It's called If You Seek Amy K. And I had to add the K on the end because if anyone else is my age, then you know the Britney Spears song. And so there's some people that don't, but if you just type If You Seek Amy, you're going to get Britney Spears. But if you add the little K at the end, I should be the first thing to pop up. So it is kind of the name of it is kind of a play on the song. But it's also too like I was really out there seeking myself. I'm looking for me, trying to find myself and figure out what it is after all these years that I want because I was always worried about what someone else wanted. So
Yeah.
I'm out there cruising the world, traveling the world, trying to figure out like, can I find Amy out there? Like, you know, where where do I need to be? What do I want? And all that good stuff. So
Love it. Love it. Question from the comments in the chat. Thank you, viewers, for chiming in with Amy Loses It. It's Amy. She is our first interview for Coffee and Conversations for 2026. Amy, what is the most surprising side effect so far on Zepbound? And you're using actually a dual combination. And
mhm.
I hope to start Zepbound. I'm working through some insurance hurdles and I've got to do a sleep study. Wow.
Yeah.
But because of you and other folks, I have
Mhm.
heard about some of these things. So
Yeah.
it kind of almost reassured me, oh, okay, I'm going down the right path so that I will
Yeah.
have to pay less out of pocket, if anything,
Yeah, if you
just be
can
a
get it
simple.
approved under sleep apnea, like if your plan allows it, yeah, that would be great.
Okay. So what other side effects should a person who's considering using GLP-1s, and y'all, everybody check this with your own doctor, your own medical
Mhm,
professionals, but for you as a person who has been using Zepbound, what has been the most surprising side effects? Are they you have some videos about it because I I
mhm.
I
Yeah,
I saw them where you talk about the side effects and what you
mhm.
use to alleviate those. So, but talk a little bit for
Yeah.
those who may not.
So I'll just start by saying that like most concerning, difficult side effect, none for me. So, on occasion I have nausea, but that's usually an indicator that I haven't eaten properly or my gallbladder's acting up because I do need my gallbladder out. So, usually when I feel a little nausea, I go grab a ginger chew, something high sugar, and then I eat, I get my sugar level up, then I eat a meal. So I don't really, it's only on rare occasions. The constipation, super easy to manage. Make sure you get your fiber and then use some type of approved supplement. Talk to your doctor if you're concerned about what type of supplement to take. I take a magnesium supplement, and that eliminates the issue completely. Uh, so those really, really not, I'm not really having any trouble with that. I know a lot of people are very worried about them, and they really shouldn't be, because most of the time they go away on their own. The longer you're on the medication, the less issues you usually have with it. I would say the most surprising side effect for me has been the mental benefits. So it does help me with my ADHD. I've had a lot more control over that. It has helped my depression. It has helped inflammation in my body. Helps me be less sore all of the time. Tend to have like a lot of aches and pains and joints and muscles and all of that. Yeah, so a lot of that has been alleviated between the GLP-1 medication and the magnesium. The magnesium is an excellent source to help you with muscle soreness and stiffness as well. So yeah, I was just surprised that I didn't think it was gonna have such a positive effect on my mental health. I think really so nothing shocking negative. Now, I have talked to one person who did struggle with a really severe depressive bout from taking Wegovy.
Oh, wow.
When they just went and talked to their doctor because they were on some other medication uh, for depression, and so they had their medication adjusted. And I think I've run across like one other person who had said that they had severe side effects and they had to stop taking the medication, but they didn't disclose what they were. So I think on one of my videos, I did some research and I found that it was about 2 to 4% of people had to stop because of side effects that or unusual side effects, things that could be life threatening.
Oh,
So it was that low of an instance of, complications.
yeah.
So
The
I,
benefits
because
outweighed any of the side effects. And so it was approved
absolutely,
for
yeah,
use
because
in the US.
if you have 100 people in the room and there's maybe 2 to 4, but honestly, you could have 1,000 people in the room and maybe only have one person have an issue. So it's that information's all skewed by like the number of people they had in the study and how they were collecting data and all that good stuff. But these medications have been proven safe and effective. So yeah, just nothing surprising. Just take the medication.
Yeah.
I could stand on a street corner, honestly, and shout about how good I think this medication is.
Because total weight loss to date, Amy, if you don't
Uh,
mind sharing.
yeah, no, not at all. So as of my official weigh-in on Saturday, my total weight loss to date was still 51 pounds. So
Well, congratulations.
yeah. So 51 pounds. I mean, it's been 53 weeks. So I'm falling a little behind, but I sometimes I think you just get in a rut and I need to start getting a little movement in. But
Hmm.
it's just been a busy time of year, especially getting monetized. I've been really kind of pushing out as many videos really quickly as I could to get, to get into the January rush of everybody wanting to talk about medications and weight loss. So I did take a lot of extra time and maybe have ordered in a time or two too many.
Yeah.
So
See, you're so honest. You're brutally honest,
yeah,
and that I think is what has endeared so many to you and your journey. And I love, frankly, Amy, how you show up on the
yeah,
YouTube stream. And it has been a pleasure preparing for this interview with you and just getting to know more about you, your content, and your cats as a cat
yeah.
mom. So this is called Coffee and Conversations. And
Mhm.
so tell me, Amy, what are you hydrating on this evening?
Just water. I am lame. I have a allergy to corn, so I can't sadly have any like sodas or anything, any juices or anything that have corn syrup in them. And
Mhm.
I just don't
That's
drink
a good
coffee
thing.
or tea. Yeah.
That's a good
And
thing.
Yeah, and I don't drink coffee or tea. So I honestly, water is like the only thing that I drink all day, every day. And it
All
took
day, every
years,
day.
all
Y'all, did
day,
y'all
every
hear her?
day.
She said all day, every day. She said it. Thank you, Amy. That's super cute. Now I am having some tea. It's my favorite tangerine tea from Yogi Tea.
Ooh.
And I put like a half a teaspoon. Amy, you were watching back when we were backstage, about half a teaspoon of honey, because y'all, this is my second day of OMAD, one meal a day. And so I'm easing into it, giving myself grace, but I'm trying to really jumpstart, um, just tightening things back up as far as an overall health and wellness. Question from Mrs. G, another one of our viewers. Thank you, Mrs. G. She says, how do you deal with people when they try to turn their nose up at you for choosing and making an informed decision to use GLP-1s to prioritize your health?
Honestly, I just know that the people that are making these comments are, and not to say this in a cruel way or rude way, but they're just ignorant of the disease of obesity. They
Yeah,
probably never experienced it, or if they are experiencing it, they have no education about what's going on. They're not up to date in the science of it, and so I just know that they're not coming from a place, of knowing. So they don't, it's just like if I were to make a judgment about somebody who was a drug addict or an alcoholic, now that I've learned about the disease of obesity, knowing that it's coming from the same brain center, and it is not a choice for these people, just like me being overweight is not a choice. Like I didn't sit down and decide I wanted to be overweight. So I just know that they don't have all the information that they need to be making uh, a judgment. And also, most of the time, it's a them. I'd say all of the time, it's a them problem. They're just trying to make you feel bad, so you don't feel as good as they see you feeling. Right? They're jealous. They're just
yeah,
jealous of you, and they want to make you feel bad. So you just don't don't buy into it. Just let
I
it,
agree.
just let it go. Yeah, and when you first start YouTube, that's kind of hard because you wanna respond to some of these ignorant comments, and I've just found that I kill them with kindness, and then it
Mhm.
just drives them nuts because
Yeah.
then they respond back with something negative, and I'm like, "Oh, well, thank you so much for watching my video." They're like, "I'm not subscribing." I'm like, "That's
Promise, promise.
yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, so it's not the easy way out, right? We still have to spend our hard-earned money on these medications. We still have to take it. We still have to watch our calories. We still need to get our movement in. So what is easy about that? And we have to live in these bodies that are overweight. So whatever.
Exactly. But the part you said so much there. The part that really, it doesn't bother me until you take a person who probably weighs 5 pounds less than I do,
Yeah.
who has the audacity, the unmitigated gall to
Mhm.
try to tell me about my weight issues, when I'm like, friend, you are just half a cheeseburger, 2 bites away from surpassing me. But and I'm talking about folks in the YouTube streets too. It's
Mhm.
and so I'm glad that you tied that to you being a content creator. Speaking of which, as we're gonna intersperse a little bit of content creation in here because I know you guys want to talk about both channels, but we're saving that for the end. But as a content creator, did you tell folks that you were going to start these YouTube channels? I'm talking about your closest friends and family. Tell us why.
No, because the thing is like sometimes we have hopes and dreams or just things that we want to do for ourselves, and not everybody is in that realm, or just doesn't understand, right? Like why you would want to do it. And and I just didn't want to share it at first. It took me a little while to share it. And I would say with my friends I was a little more open, but have not told, so I don't really have much family left, but there's like a whole side of the family that I haven't told at all because I just don't, honestly, I don't want them watching my stuff because they were involved in the kind of trauma of my childhood. So I don't necessarily want them watching these kind of personal um therapy sessions that I'm having on YouTube, right? So, uh, yeah, so I don't necessarily get them involved in that because it's just like one of my dreams, and we'll talk about this on when we talk about if you seek Amy K, is to retire at a decent age where I'm still young enough to be able to do the things I want to do. But I also have been looking into retiring abroad because I don't have a partner. I don't really have siblings that can take care of me. My parents are gone, grandparents are gone. So I don't have a support system if, if I need care, and I'm not going to be able to afford that care in the United States, no matter what I do, unless I win the lottery, right? And have millions and millions and millions of dollars. I'm just not going to be able to afford it here. So I'm trying
Mhm.
to look into, where are other places in the world where my dollar bill goes further. And, family and friends aren't necessarily going to buy into that and support that. So I've come to YouTube and found my community of people that support my weight loss journey, that support my drive to retire early, to support my drive to retire in another country. So,
I could not agree more. I know you just
mhm.
see me over here going, yep,
Yeah.
yep, because those are all the things I too did not share with just maybe 5 folks
Hmm.
who are in my village that who I know love and care and support me, and the rest, I hope they're lurking. Keep watching. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But I was intentional because I didn't want the negativity around my channel. I didn't want the bullying to continue, and even if
Hmm.
it's coming from friends and family, it's hurtful, and
Hmm.
it is what it is. You're a bully. You're an adult bully. And shame on you for that. Shame
Yeah.
on you. And shame on folks for that. Let's just be kind. This is my philosophy. Just be kind. You've got so
Yeah.
many folks, and I'm doing my best, friends, to try to get everyone's comments up on the screen. Let's just keep rolling along here. Um, how do you do it all? You talked about working at home, and
Hmm.
this is the last little teaser question for you, YouTube, as we kind of move from Amy Loses It, and we're going to go to a little lightweight round. I want the folks to see more about Amy and who Amy is beyond the YouTube channels, and both of them are just have so much promise. So I predict that you're going to retire early just off of your YouTube income. Yes, I
I
speak
hope
that
so.
over your channels. Absolutely. So, Amy, tell us this. What does it feel like? What would you hope that your YouTube family on Amy Loses It and even on the cruise channel, what would you hope they take away from you sharing your journey with on Amy Loses It, your health and wellness journey?
Uh, so on Amy Loses It, I really think I just want people to take away that they need to take care of themselves. And at the end of the day, no one else is going to do it for them. And they have to put themselves first and make their health a priority and use the tools that are available. And don't let a doctor, a dietitian, or anybody else tell them, oh, well, I don't think you should be on that medication, blah, blah, blah. It's, it's not good for you, blah. You know what? Do your own, do your own research, talk to medical professional. If they don't give you the answer you like, go find another one. And don't just rely on your primary care physician. Find an obesity specialist, because they know better, right? At this point in time, if the obesity specialist better know better, they better know about the disease of obesity and all the findings lately about everything that's coming up. And, watch channels that give you great information that actually pull from reputable sources and just, kind of ingest all that comment and content and make sure you're educated about things so when you hear those terrible comments from other people that it's not the truth. and you just be kind to yourself and trust in, for me, trust in the medication. And that's been a hard thing because the past couple weeks my scale's not really been moving, but I just got to trust in the medication and trust in the process. And uh, it's not always easy, uh, but don't hide when you're having a bad day. Don't just like be like, oh, well, everything's just okay. Lean on people in the community for support. And join a community and get in the live streams and chat with everybody, and leave people comments, and chat with them in the comments and things like that. And just kind of take positivity, as much positivity as you can, to support yourself.
Yes, I fully agree, Amy. So let's kind of just switch gears. We're going to talk
Hmm.
about your cruise channel for a little bit, and then we're going to flow right into content creator questions, because the chat is full, chock full with content creators and just folks who love Amy. And I know on my channel I have so many viewers, and there has to be so many viewers out there who probably never comment,
Hmm.
because they are, thank you, kind humans, for watching my channel. And there's something about you, just like there's so much about Amy that we know and love. I know that I love your content, and I believe I got connected to you from DeBossway and
Hmm.
JC Calamity Jade. Were you featured over there on Behind the Scenes?
Yeah, I did one of the very first episodes, I think, of Behind the Scenes about sleep apnea. So I
Yes.
had I had really first started watching GLP-1 content when I started my weight loss journey and was thinking about splitting my channel. So I'm like, oh well, I need to go do some well, thank you, Kathleen, for joining my family. I
Yes,
appreciate
so
it.
many have chimed in that they
Yeah.
they have joined your family. Yes.
Yes, thank you. And so, yeah, so I went out there and I found Joe at Joe's Sleep and Slim Down Journey. And I'm like, well,
Mhm.
hey, what's this about? And she's like, how unwell she was. And man, she's just a rock star with how much weight she's
Isn't she?
losing. And then, I met JC Calamity Jane, and I met DeBossway and Hermione
Hermione. Yes.
from
Health, Health
Stealth Health
India.
India. Yeah. And then I just started getting to know everybody. And then I met with, Losing It Grays, and probably like 100 other people that I could name that,
Mindy
I
K.
regular
Yeah.
Candy K and Downsizing Diva. I was just, in her chats on New Year's Day, I think it was, or New Year's Eve. So I need to, in the YouTube section, I need to tell you about New Year's Eve because that was like
Okay.
a whole thing. And then also like Kim J's Sweet Life, I think is her channel. I'm not a
Mhm.
hundred. I
Mhm.
think
Kim
that,
J. Yeah, she's one of my
yeah.
favorites too.
So I just kind of started like networking, but not in disingenuous way. It was really like, hey, I really like your content. Like, I want
Mhm.
to get to know you, and I'm trying to do this thing. And then they invited me on the channel, and then Lori from GLP-1 Journey and Review interviewed me. And then I reached out to the Downsized, and they had me on last month. So and
Congratulations. That's a
mhm.
whopper of a channel.
Yeah,
No
so if you
pun
haven't
intended at all.
yeah, so if you haven't watched The Downsized, it's one of the greatest news sources out there for information about GLP-1 medications, about especially about stuff that's coming up. And they went to like obesity, like the obesity conference this year, and man, the stuff that's coming. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait. So it was really great to be on their channel and get some exposure there. And other than that, I've been on, oh, I did a live with Mariella's 360 and JC Calamity Jane. We did some YouTube stuff, and we got another one coming up on Monday the 19th, I think it is. So we're going to do some StreamYard stuff. But yeah, so I just kind of got myself into the community and started chatting back and forth. And then, I end up like watching all their lives as much as I can, and just, making sure that I'm saying hi and supporting their channels, or rewatching their content. So yeah, it takes a lot of legwork to do, but I really wanted to support my channel and support my weight loss because I'm trying to get my channel earning enough money to pay for my medication. 'Cause that's
Yeah.
really the goal. It was like, let's
Hashtag
figure
channel
out.
goals,
Yeah.
hashtag life goals. Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
is a really good goal, Amy, to at least be able to pay for your medication with your YouTube revenue. You're getting those
Yeah.
YouTube checks. Amy, it's hard to believe. Now, when we started this interview at the top of the hour, you started by sharing with us that you had to follow a script, you memorized 2 lines at a time. But
Mm-hmm.
friend, you have reached your stride as a content creator, as being a person who's able to manage live streams. Look at all of this beautiful, wonderful spirit and personality. And it's from Amy Loses It. Friend, you can handle any situation now. I mean, you talk about these platforms that you've been, not just Kendi K wants to interview you. You've had some really great, much larger platforms than I to interview you. So you are shining and winning in these YouTube streets. And so again, we thank you for checking out Kendi K all day and supporting me on my little old channel as I try to just expand my territory and just find interesting folks who deserve an interview. And thank you for accommodating us on this day. I'm so appreciative. You've got a busy schedule, clearly, as a
Yeah.
content creator being interviewed by so many. So here's a couple of softball questions, and try to answer them as candidly and as quickly as possible. And you tell us. So, last movie you watched?
Oh, last movie I watched. Ooh, I'm terrible at remembering. What did I go to the I think the last movie that I went to see was Caught Stealing, which was
Oh,
actually really good. It's was a Darren Aronofsky film about
okay.
a guy whose neighbor gets him into a lot of trouble with some gangsters.
Oh,
Uh yeah, it was actually really good. I didn't even think that we were just like picking the one movie that wasn't horror because I don't do horror movies.
me
So
neither. Ain't nobody got
yeah,
time for that.
yeah. So it was actually really good. I highly recommend it. And funny enough, I have actually met Darren Aronofsky. I've sat next to him at a screening when I lived in Los Angeles. I worked in the entertainment industry, and I got to go to a lot of pre-screenings of movies. So I went to his, and I just happened to sit right next to him watching a movie that he directed called The Fountain with Hugh Jackman and Rachel Weisz, which I think he was married to at the time. But I don't recommend the movie. So don't go watch it at all. It was awful.
Okay, okay. But we thank you for the recommendation, though.
Yeah.
On the other one, though. Okay, so tell us this: would you rather? Are you a homebody, or would you rather be out and about with friends?
I am a homebody. So I can tolerate being out and about with friends once or twice a month, and that's my limit.
Okay, same here. I think it comes with, as you ease into our softer years.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I'm
yeah.
I'm good right here. I'm good
I'm
here.
good. I'm good. Favorite cruise destination?
Oh, favorite cruise destination, Geiranger Fjord in Norway.
So
Yes,
that
man.
explains you all decked out with the fur and your coat and stuff in your profile image on your second channel.
Well, that actually is from Zermatt, Switzerland. I was actually standing in front of the Matterhorn.
Whoa.
So I did a 10-day solo trip through Switzerland by train. I arranged everything, did it all myself, had the most magical time ever on the planet.
I love that word, magical. That
It was
sounds
magical.
magical. And as
Yeah.
a solo traveler, Amy, do you know I've never traveled solo like on a
Really?
vacation? I travel solo all the time because I travel for work.
Yeah,
But
it's
that's
magical.
something I want
It's
to do. I want to do in 2026 because watching your channel kind of was confirmation that you can do this, Kendi K.
mhm.
So thank you again, Amy, for sharing your travels with us. Amy, can you share with us? Let's kind of just transition, y'all. Go
Yeah.
with us now to If You Seek Amy. So if you have any questions about Amy and her travels and her discounts, how she scores these discounts on cruises, go ahead and begin to drop those now. And friends, if you want to toss in some of the content creation YouTube questions, go ahead and do that as well so that we can make sure we get everything in. But we've got plenty of time. Amy, tell us a little bit about the second channel, If You Seek Amy. How long have you had it? And what are some of the goals for this channel, Amy?
Well, I think I put up my first video, I don't know, maybe April, maybe May. Like it was just a kind of like, oh, let me just try this out. And it wasn't really a good video. And I didn't really go on the cruise with the intent of filming it for a video. But I knew I wanted to start a channel, so I was just giving it a shot. And I'm like, oh, well, I love cruising, so why not try that? But little did I know when we talk about the YouTube stuff, like how difficult actually a cruise channel is. So
Why
it
so?
definitely,
Why so?
because the audience is so different and they are expecting like a very particular thing out of you. And there's also, it's not just a cruise niche. You have to really niche down within the cruise in area.
Mhm.
And so you got to really pick a very narrow topic. And so I've been futzing around with it and I haven't really hit my stride yet, but I did. I think my last 5 videos were about casino stuff because I'm an accountant, been an accountant for 25 years, so I know all about money and saving money. Uh, I don't do taxes though. Not a tax accountant. I'm a corporate accountant. And so I love saving money and I love telling people about saving money. So I have really been into the casino program with Royal Caribbean lately. So like the last several videos I've done of that because my other stuff was just kind of really hit or miss. And so I wasn't really getting a ton of views, but I've been getting pretty decent views on the casino stuff. But so I was just trying to was just trying to like, oh, well, I need to make money. How do I make money without leaving my home? Because I already work sometimes 50, 60 hours a week. And I don't I don't want to go beholden to somebody else. And honestly, because I am a skilled professional that requires a lot of experience and training and knowledge, the level at which I work and the funds that I get paid, you know what I mean? Like it's not worth my time, and this is going to sound awful, but not worth my time to go work somewhere for 10, 20, $30 an hour. And
Right.
I know to a lot of people they're going to be like, "Oh, I'd love to make that." And and I completely understand that, but I have worked so hard to
Yeah.
get where I'm at that I don't take my time lightly as far as value. Meaning that like if I was going to do something outside of work, I needed to get a lot of value out of that dollar wise. And I know YouTube, like it's going to take a lot of time to build that up. But like once I get there, right, I'm going to get that back tenfold because once you start growing, it just exponentially grows as long as you maintain it consistency, consistency, consistency. So that's why I picked YouTube and I was just trying to stab in the dark. Well, what could this 51-year-old fat old lady with a bunch of cats like why would anybody care about me? And I didn't think anybody, honestly, like I had such terrible self-esteem because my ex just like destroyed it. uh I didn't believe I could do anything. So I'm like, what? Nobody's going to want to watch me. Why is anybody going to care? Like, what do I have to say? So I'm like, well, let me just try the cruise thing.
Mhm.
So I started with that. And then I'm like, well, but then I'm not on a cruise. So what do I talk about now? And I'm like, well, let me talk about my diet. Not that I want to, but it's something easy to talk about. And so then that's how I figured out, oh, well, I've got this diet thing, but I need to move it to another channel because they can't exist together if I want to grow. So,
Mhm.
so, so I ended up moving it. And then on my cruise channel, I just do the cruises. But I found that a lot of people don't want the what I do in a day cruise out of me because there's bigger and better channels all over the place. The market's pretty saturated with really good content.
Mhm.
So so they don't necessarily want that out of me. So I need to find something that people want to watch out of me in the cruise. space. And so that's why I've been experimenting with, now I'm trying the casino and the savings and seeing if that will keep my viewers coming back. So, unfortunately, on both channels this past 2 weeks, all of my videos have kind of tanked. Like they're all just like, they had, I would say 3 weeks ago, they both channels were getting like 6 or 7 thousand views a video, and then it just slowly started declining. But I see that YouTube has a lot of patterns, and like it
Mhm.
seems like things will really slow down, and then all of a sudden, a random video for no reason will just get a lot of views, and then the next couple will get more views. So I just
Yeah.
have to wait it out. I just gotta keep my strategy together. And after maybe 5 more videos, if no one's watching the casino content, then I need to find another avenue in the cruise space because
A niche down further to something else,
hmm
but still
yeah.
within the cruise
Yeah.
niche.
So I need to figure out like what it is they would want, you know, do they want ship reviews? Do they want cabin reviews? Like what else could I do? Uh I don't want to do just packing videos because that's hard. That's hard to do constant packing videos over and over when you only go on 4 cruises a year. But yeah, and I worked on trying to kind of unify my thumbnails on this channel a bit over the past like videos that had kind of similar content. But also putting my graphic design skills to work because I do have that digital media degree. So I
Clearly,
do
clearly.
so I do have a little bit of advantage in that. And I also like just kind of have a natural good eye for things. Like I'm actually a pretty decent photographer, not as far as like the quality of the pictures, but as far as like the framing of the pictures, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, so I do pretty good with that. But yeah, I just love cruising and it's so much fun and it's actually even better solo. I prefer going on cruises by myself. Uh, because you just do what you want when you want to do it, and you don't have to worry about anybody else's opinion at all.
Well, now, because
It,
I thought about that. I've got a cruise scheduled for this year for 2026.
Mhm,
And I said, but maybe I can stick a toe in the water for solo travel if we break up and do two single rooms instead
mhm,
of, you know, doubling up into a suite. So
yeah.
I might try that. But and again, you are helping me to kind of reconceive these things. But let's combine the question. Think about this, Amy, and let
Mhm,
me know, share with us if you will. So you take 4 cruises and you said that I take 4 cruises a year.
yeah.
Wow, must be nice to take 4 cruises, one every quarter in the year, is what I'm presuming. But
Yeah.
when you do your cruise travel, now that you are on a health and wellness journey, taking using a GLP-1 and documenting that on your other channel, Amy Loses It, how does that impact when you go cruising? Because beyond traveling the world and visiting all these fabulous spaces, it's a whole lot of eating on a cruise ship. So how do you navigate that? Do you have any tips for us while we're traveling and being
Yeah.
a wellness journey?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people ask me this all the time, and one of the big things is I trust the medication to do its job. I don't skip doses. I bring my medication with me if I need to, because remember, it doesn't have to be refrigerated. It just needs to be kept at a decent temperature. So you don't want to put it back in the fridge when you get on the ship. Don't do that. Leave it on the counter. Just don't keep it in direct sunlight. Don't keep it warm. It should be there are instructions on the box to tell you what temperature range you should keep it at, but don't put it back in the refrigerator. And if you're taking ice packs, don't put it directly on the ice pack. You don't want it to freeze because it destroys the medication, and then there goes all your effectiveness right out the window. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that.
You're helping a lot of folks with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So don't freeze it. Just keep honestly, I just threw mine. I had a needle that was in a little plastic pre-sealed container, and I had my unopened box of Zepbound, and I just threw it in my purse. Last honestly, like I'm I just threw it in my purse and I went. But I trust the medication to do its job. And honestly, it really does. It keeps you from craving all this food all of the time. And I actually find that when I ate at a specialty restaurant, I was a bit disappointed because I could only eat half my meal and it tasted good. And I kind of wanted to eat it, but I just couldn't. Yeah, I just couldn't eat it because it was like my body just said, "No, you're done. You're done. You don't need that." So just trust in the medication. And when I'm on a cruise, I take a diet holiday, meaning that I don't track my calories. And if there's something I want to eat, I eat it. I don't care what it is, I eat it. And but I also like to make myself step challenges. And so I try to get in a good amount of steps to kind of counterbalance. And usually, when I first get home, like that first week, I usually am at the same weight, sometimes a little higher, but I know that's just water weight.
Hmm.
And then within like a week or two, I actually have like a huge dump of weight. I usually lose more than I normally do. So
Hmm.
I just, I've kind of learned to let it go and stop obsessing about it because we're in a new era with these medications. We don't have to live in that old diet mindset anymore. So
Yeah.
that's really like what I like to get across to people. Just let the medication work. Eat what you want to eat, but be mindful. Don't, you know what I mean? Like, don't go out and try and eat 6 or 7,000 calories in a day, but
Hmm.
eat, eat until you're full. And then if you want a snack here or there, have a snack here or there. If you want that ice cream, you want that donut or whatever, just eat it. But then just get your steps in. It's so easy to do when you're on a ship or you're on vacation. So
Yeah.
yeah, so just don't sweat it at all.
I agree when you talked about the steps because I travel for work at least once a month, sometimes twice or more a month. And one thing I do like about, you know, traveling back and forth for work purposes and for vacation purposes, because that's what I'm trying to do at 50 and beyond. I'm trying to
Yeah.
be more like Amy. I'm trying to travel, 4 times a year, right? On a cruise or something different than that. But I love the travel and being in airports and things like that because I know I'm going to hit 10,000 steps a day and sometimes a whole lot more than that. And
Hmm.
so I love that for me because I love when my Fitbit has a little party on the phone and on the watch. I love that. I love to see that I've hit those big step goals. And then tell us this. So you're on a cruise ship. Do
Hmm.
you mainly do the sit down meals or do you go like to the buffet area, whatever they're calling that now on particular ships?
Well, I am not a buffet person because I actually kind of am a food snob, and I think
Hey,
most
do
of
you
it's
see how Amy is
gross.
my person? Do y'all see everything?
I
Yes.
think the buffets are gross, honestly. And honestly, I've been sailing Royal Caribbean this past year, and their foods to me is terrible. I mean, sure, the specialty restaurants are a little better, but I, I just think that they're doing such low quality food that I'm completely offended on, especially on the Icon of the Seas. I paid a freaking fortune to be on that ship, and I didn't think the food was that great.
So
So,
is it I just did my first cruise in October since
mhm,
COVID. Like I hadn't been on a cruise since way before, like a couple of years even
yeah,
before COVID came down on us. But we're survivors. We survived the pandemic. But Amy,
yeah.
are you telling me that the specialty dining restaurants areas or parts of the menu are you saying in your opinion, in your informed opinion, as a person who cruises way more than I do, is it worth it?
Well, let me caveat by saying I am frugal to a point, to the point that I don't let my frugality or money saving kind of be to the detriment of my experience if I really want it. So
Right.
sometimes I will try a specialty restaurant. Now, I will say because I wasn't that impressed with the royal main dining room, that I did enjoy the food in the specialty restaurants better. But would I say it was like out fabulous, outstanding, the best I've ever had? No, I mean it was pretty to me. It was what food should be. because
Hmm.
good food is not difficult to
Right.
produce, right? It's just they don't want to pay the extra money to have the better quality stuff.
Quality.
So good food is very easy, especially since it doesn't need to be boxed, canned, processed, or whatever. Right? Real whole food is quality food is very easy to put out there. So I guess it really depends. Now, I would say, like, if you get a really good package, and that's what I did. I paid $88 for two of the nicer restaurants.
Hmm.
So I got like one of the highest price restaurants and then like Chops Grill. And so it was sort of okay. It was sort of worth it. I really did it for the YouTube channel because I wanted to test out those restaurants.
Hmm.
Now, I would say that Norwegian's food is better than Royals. Um, And Royals years ago used to be pretty good, but like in the past couple years, it really has gone downhill. But I'm looking forward to like Celebrity. Every time I've been on Celebrity, their food's been really great. And I'm going on Virgin in February. So
For
just
the
next
first
month.
time,
For the
or
first time. Yeah, for the first time I'm going on Virgin. And I've heard their food's pretty
those are the red
fantastic.
bowls. Those are the red chips, y'all.
Yeah. But I've heard rumblings that some people are saying that they're losing a little food quality, which bums me out. But you know what? I didn't pay anything for the cruise, but port fees and taxes because
Yeah.
let me tell you, just because cruise 4 times a year doesn't mean I spend a lot of money. Uh, I've been doing casino deals. And so I paid for one cruise and I gambled, and then everything else has been a casino deal.
Okay, so tell
So,
us what you mean by that, Amy. I want to make
mhm,
sure folks are intrigued enough to get on over there to
mhm.
If You Seek Amy K, right?
Yeah, Amy
If you
K. Yeah,
seek
you
if
seek
you
Amy
seek
K.
Amy K is the cruise content channel. What do you mean by you're saying I'm it's going to be a free cruise for me, and I just went on
Mhm,
the free cruise in October. It was a free cruise, but
mhm.
so tell viewers a little bit about more about what that means, so that they can hop on over there and connect with your channel and your content.
Yeah, so kind of my purpose on that channel is to help people figure out how to use the casino programs to get free or discounted cruises. So I started the first program that I have been working on is Royal. I'm going to start working on Princess at the middle of this year. So I just went in the casino and I gambled $400 and I got 410 points. And then that got me into their casino marketing offers. And what that does is I was getting emails to my inbox saying, hey, we're going to give you free cruise fare. You still have to pay port fees and taxes. And here's a list of the cruises that you can take. Now, realize port fees and taxes aren't going to the cruise line. So technically, like your fare is free. You'd still have to pay gratuities on the majority of the lines. Virgin did not make me pay gratuities. But then they'll say, oh, well, you'll get free cruise fare, but you got to bring somebody with you because we want their money. And then they'll pay a severely discounted price, and it's usually 79 to 90% discounted. So which is still a darn good deal, right? And but if you can't bring another person or you don't want to, like me, then you just pay that discounted cruise fare for the second person. So basically, when I went on Wonder of the Seas, I got a 90% discount on my cruise. So I paid $353 for a 4 night cruise on the Wonder of the Seas in a balcony cabin. So, I mean, and that's a pretty nice ship. It was pretty fantastic. I loved every moment of the Wonder of the Seas. And then so I just continued to get offers, and then I booked 2 more cruises on the Freedom of the Seas. I did have someone traveling with me, so they paid the discounted cruise fare, and my fare was free. I just paid my port fees, taxes, and gratuities. And then I took my offer that I had received from Royal Caribbean and gave it to Virgin and said, here's what Royal Caribbean offered me. And Virgin said, oh, well, here, like pick out a couple cruises from this list on their website, and then they gave me a free 7 night cruise in a balcony cabin. I don't even have to pay gratuities, just port fees and taxes. So, and I've
Boss
been using
moves. Boss
yeah,
moves.
I've been using frequent flyer miles to travel to the airport. So I fly from home to Fort Lauderdale, which is a little inconvenient because all my cruises have been going out of Miami. But
Mhm,
I just pay that little extra for the Uber. It's usually only like $45 total
mhm, mhm.
to get to the Miami cruise port. And so I really cut my costs. And I think this year I've saved over $5,000 on 4 cruises. So
Unbelievable.
yeah,
Unbelievable. And we
it's
can
it's
tell
pretty
you are
amazing.
truly a numbers person, and which is going to serve you well as
Yeah,
you work to retire early, a part of the fire movement, right?
yeah.
Financial independence so that you can retire early and do more cruising. So, do I
Hmm.
take it? And inquiring minds want to know, do you prefer cruising to just popping over on an airplane and getting there like I went to Greece um, for my 49th birthday?
At this point in my life, with my weight, the way that it is, and I have a severe back injury that is actually, unfortunately, really acting up right now. So
Mhm.
at this point in my life, I need to put kind of the land-based stuff on hold that needs a lot of exercise until I get to the point that, I've lost a significant amount of weight and it's much easier for me to move about. And also, I just thought, well, cruising would be great for the YouTube channel. Uh,
Okay.
s- yeah, and it's a little bit more solo friendly because there's only certain countries that I am going to feel comfortable going on a solo trip by myself. Obviously Switzerland and Norway, right? Uh, Lowest crime rates in the world, very easy transportation, very easy to get around. I've done the UK, I've done London twice solo, and that is amazing. Absolutely highly recommend London to anybody. Super easy to get around. But yeah, I just find that cruising's a little easier because you're on a ship with a bunch of other people. And if you're going on an excursion, you can go on an excursion with a bunch of other people, right? So safety in numbers. Or you can just stay on the ship. You don't have to get off. There's nothing that says that you have to get off that ship. You can enjoy it all to yourself while everybody else is off on the cruise port. So,
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna let
mhm.
Amy catch her breath and hydrate a little bit, and I'm gonna pay a few bills, Amy. And y'all, if
Okay.
you do have some content creator questions, we're going to use the rest of our interview space to kind of pick Amy's brain. Y'all, she has successfully taken her Amy Loses It channel all the way to full monetization. And friends, she's in the last, what I call the last mile on the cruise channel, getting it to monetization. So refresh yourself and let me pay a few bills, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so friends, if you are interested in being interviewed by me on my interview segment, and I call it Coffee and Conversations. And guess what? Just like Amy, you don't have to drink coffee at all. It's more about just finding great humans, very interesting humans, however they show up in the world on YouTube or outside of YouTube. I want to get your story out there to the world. I want to help you to reach your goals, and I just want to spread kindness and joy. And so that is what I'm seeking. If you're one of those people, go ahead and point your QR code, your cell phone to this so that you can capture this QR code and go ahead and fill out my form. Leave me a message. I'll vet your channel. And if I know you, and if we can set it up, because I'm a full-time worker outside of YouTube and I'm just a part-time content creator, friends. And we want to thank Pound Cake Experts for sponsoring this episode of Coffee and Conversations. Y'all visit Pound Cake Experts with 50 gourmet flavors of pound cake. They ship all over the country, featuring sugar-free, vegan, and gluten-free options. Visit Pound Cake Experts on all social medias. Friends, we've got company. Who do we have there, Amy?
This is Sheldon, and I'm trying to get him to not knock over the camera. Can we get out of the way, please, young man? So this is Sheldon.
Hi,
He
Sheldon.
he is about to turn 8 years old in April, and
Sheldon is big cat.
no, he's tiny.
Okay,
He's
just
just a
like
little tiny guy. Yeah, he's
that.
just a little teeny tiny guy. See, let's see. See how little he is.
Oh,
Whoop. Yeah, so he's just a little teeny tiny guy. He's my smallest cat. Yeah, he's a lot of fun. He's a ball of energy, the worst kitten I ever had in my life. He was like
So
hanging from the ceiling.
you and your cats, speaking of which, I love how
Mhm.
you interject them in your content and point them out and with by name for us. It's just lovely. It's just again part of what endears so many to you. And it looks like you got a little cat hair.
Yep, cat hair in my mouth, of course.
All in your mouth now. From Sheldon, love that, y'all. We are easing into the content creation information. Amy, you've had such great success on your channels, and we wish you continued success on your channels. But you have kind of teased that you've been working with someone or you took a course. You share a little bit about what you would attribute all of your success now on two YouTube channels, one fully monetized and one right at the cusp of being monetized.
Yeah, so I started my YouTube channels but I was still like I was a huge content consumer. So I did a ton of research, watched so many different YouTube gurus about, most of them you listen to and it's like they're just regurgitating stuff that is irrelevant to me that uh, I'm never going to be interested in doing. So uh, I just started looking around, and then I found I'd been watching Grounded Life Retirement Travel. They also have Grounded Life Travel and a couple other. They've got 6 YouTube channels, and
Wow.
I found that they had a course called YouTube After 40, and it's relatively affordable. It's $197. And then I realized, oh, well, they have a community board. So not only do they have this course that is unlimited, like you just go in and rewatch it as many times as you want, and then they constantly update it. But then they have a community board for everybody who has paid for the course. And I found that there were some content creators on there that I really admired their channels, were in my genre or niche. And I really wanted to connect with them. So I bought the YouTube After 40 course. And then I started asking all kinds of YouTube advice questions on their community, and
Yeah.
they have really good teachings, and it really has helped me a lot to get my channels where they are today. I mean, obviously there's a portion that that comes from my personality and me actually doing the things that I need to do. So like you can take a course all day long, but you got to get out of your own way and you need to follow the plan because YouTube is like a game, right? It
Yeah.
has rules and there's a lot of rules you got to play by. And if you don't do the things, you're not going to get anywhere with YouTube sometimes.
Yeah.
Uh, so, especially in the speed that you want to. And I think so many people get in their own way because I think
Hmm.
one of the most common things I see from people is like, oh, well, I want my channel to be all about me. Okay, well, I get that. But lifestyle channels are going to be the slowest growing.
Yep.
So, make your choice. Do you want this to be about monetization and making your dollar bills, or do you want this to be all about you? So, you kind of have to ride that line of like what does your audience want to watch versus like what are you willing to put out, and uh versus like how much growth are you looking for and how much income. Like if you don't mind taking 5 years to grow, sure,
Yeah.
then have your channel about the 30 things you do in a day, right?
Hmm.
But if you
Yeah.
want to follow the path of getting to monetization the quickest, pick your niche, pick a topic, and talk about it until the cows come home. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Hey,
Like,
yeah.
because the thing is that when you go into your analytics, you need to learn how to read your analytics. So watch a video on what the things that are the most important. And click through rate is going to be like one of your biggest things that's important. And then also your audience, like what are your demographics? Like when are they online? And remember that most of the time people watching your videos are going to be new viewers. So remember, you're going to have your super fans that are in the chat with us now, that watch everything that you put out,
And thank
that
you. Thank you
enter,
to our audience. Yes.
yeah, and that who support you no matter what, but then you're gonna have like the other 75% of your audience that are new to you, and you gotta
Say
keep
that
them
again,
coming back.
Amy. Say
About at
that
least
again.
yeah, that are new to you. 75% of the people watching your videos have never watched one at all. So keep that in mind. And you know what I ended up doing is I actually have 3 channels, and I have one that I don't really advertise, and that's my therapy channel. And that's really like when I have something I want to say that I know that I can't say on my other 2 channels, or it's about a topic I want to talk about that's irrelevant to anything else, I put it on that third one. And as I found that I'm needing that less and less, because now I'm like, oh, well, for right now, these channels aren't about me. They're about what my audience needs.
Pro tip.
So,
Pro tip.
yeah.
I saw a video, and it's still out there, with the
Mhm.
CEO of YouTube, and he was just sharing in 2025 the what channel owners, creators need to know about YouTube. That you need to kind of refocus and reset your thinking. It's not about you. It's
Mhm.
about viewers. You should
Yeah.
always be thinking about what would my viewers want to see. How can I show up as my brand, but show up in the way that viewers want to receive you as a creator in the YouTube streets. I think you're
Yeah.
on to something, Amy. And I noticed this. Let's take a look at this. Is both of your channels. I pulled some of your
Mhm.
playlists from both of your channels. Amy Loses It and If You Seek Amy K. When I look at your content from a creator perspective, what I see is that your channels teach teach you how to get those good discounts on cruises so that you can cruise at really deep discounts or free, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
what the GLP-1 journey is as part of your overall health and wellness journey. You give a lot about updates, dealing with side effects, all all the things that you do, right? You've got
Yeah.
consistency in your content and how you roll it out. But your channel teaches, meaning most of this content, if not all of it, is evergreen. How do you agree with that? Do we have
Yeah,
that right, Amy? And was that intentional on your part when you started?
absolutely. Absolutely intentional, because I have actually noticed that even though like the new videos that I've released recently have not been getting a ton of views in the past, I would say 2 weeks, I've noticed that my views for my channel itself have been kind of holding steady. I've been getting a lot of or new people watching my older content, because a lot of it is still really relevant, because it's my channels are pretty new, right? So I've kind of been making sure that like I have bringing something of value in what I'm putting out. And I love to teach. I love diving into a topic and doing research and teaching somebody new about something. That's why, like my last video that I put out, I'm so bummed on Amy Loses It. It's just got tons of slides. It's the one it says which one wins. It's the tips for it's for people comparing Wegovy. It's the one on the furthest left. So it's
Mhm.
tips. It's
Top left.
basically, yeah, it's comparing about the Wegovy pill versus the injectables. Because I did a lot of research into like, well, what are the medications and what's the difference and how do they work and why it's important. And then I went into like, okay, well, what's the effectiveness difference like on the each little levels of what each item, each medication does, like what
Mhm.
is, which one, how do they rank? So I put a lot of effort into making sure that I researched that thoroughly and used credible sources. Like I went to Wegovy's website, and I went to Zepbound's, went to Lily's website. And I made sure that I was grabbing information, you know, and I went to like NIH to get the information about the set point and uh, all of that good stuff. So, you know, I tried to make sure that I'm bringing credible sources and giving true and factual information and dispelling myths. That's one of the things I want to really do is like stop the fear mongering around weight loss medications. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, Evergreen is definitely absolutely intentional. And that's why I struggle about live streams sometimes, because in the group that I'm in, the YouTube After 40, their kind of stance on live streams is yes, they're really great for views when watch hours when you're first getting started, but after that, they don't necessarily bring you a lot of ad revenue. So you shouldn't spend a lot of time doing lives. That if you want to do them, especially in the GLP-1 community, it's really community building. And I love it. I love doing the lives. So I don't think I'll ever get rid of it, but maybe I'll start doing 2 videos a week later down the road when I have more time. So,
Yeah.
or maybe I'll take a vacation and spend the whole week like kind of stockpiling videos and then have the ability to do the live stream in 2 videos per week. So they're, you know, they're really kind of not that keen on lives as a focus because they're not necessarily as evergreen. Uh, but I think I structured mine in a way that gives more evergreen content. And I think the same for yours, right? Like
Mhm.
you're doing a teaching moment and it has a purpose and it's not just a with let's just chat with our viewers because lives are really great to meet the people that watch your videos all the time, right? They're really
Yes.
great to get to know your audience and get to know people out there and community and people to ask you questions. So they are really great for community building, but they do kind of suck at ad revenue. Ads on the live stream replays are much lower. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, a lot of people don't watch the whole thing, but because I do my weigh in live and I do a topic, uh, and so most people come back to watch that. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Again, what I hear when I listen to you, Amy, is how you are responding to the viewers. You are
mhm,
using all the information that you gained through the course, through your research,
mhm,
through the channels that you like to watch on YouTube, just as someone who I don't have cable any longer. So for me, I
yeah,
love the atmosphere of YouTube and the idea that I can interact with these creators as well. Live,
yeah,
the fact I can tell them exactly how I'm feeling. I can ask questions for clarification, all of those things. And you talked
yeah,
about, yeah, I am totally dialed into the evergreen content and being
mhm,
able to share and impart information. And I just tend to believe I have just enough. And it doesn't take, you don't have to be a guru on anything, friends, but it takes just enough personality. And I think
yeah,
that Amy, you clearly have it because you're on your way to getting your second channel monetized. But I truly believe that I have just enough personality to pull off a YouTube channel. And I think we have just enough. You don't, the point being, you don't need to be, this professional at
mhm,
anything, this,
yeah,
this comedian. Some folks are out here and you're trying too hard, friends. You just need just a little bit of something extra that makes you you, and just show us who you are, because by doing so, showing up authentically, people are going to be endeared to you. And you just got to find those people in the
yeah,
YouTube street, so to speak, because YouTube is a global social media. So
yeah,
you talked about teaching something, and so I just
mhm,
want to share um, that I do stream Shop Talk, and it is the teaching segment. So Coffee and Conversations is where I find interesting folks like Amy with Amy Loses It, um, and the Cruise Channel as well. But Shop Talk is where I teach content creators. I share what I have learned, the strategies that I use to get to full monetization in 6 months, starting with just a few over 200 subscribers, reach full monetization in 6 months. Amy, you talk about being able to do the same thing. And do you? It's a timely topic, and that's why I shared your playlist, Amy, in the previous visual there. Amy, do you utilize playlists as part of your how you serve content on your channel? How do you use playlists?
Yeah, absolutely. Because apparently, supposedly, right, the algorithm picks up playlists when people are searching for things. So if like you have a lot of similar content, say on the like very narrow content, I like to stick it all in a playlist. So I always do all of my videos in case somebody wants to just watch all of them. But then I also try and group things by like topics. And normally, like you'll see, like one of my live streams is actually in my motivation, because that really was a very motivational live. Because I was talking about like a imposter syndrome, and don't let the fear win. And so I threw that in there, but usually I just leave it in my weigh-ins. But I think it also helps people, like, oh well, look, they have like this casino playlist, let me just go and watch that, and they're more likely to watch those 5 videos that are in there,
Mm-hmm.
because it's all the same type of content. And the YouTube algorithm picks it up, like in the when people are doing search. So I definitely do use the playlist for that.
Okay, I am going through and making sure that I'm pulling up questions from
Mhm.
earlier that were related to content creation. And as I do, would you share something that you wish you could share with all content creators? Is it might be a myth that folks just keep repeating or you keep hearing in the YouTube streets, that's just simply not so true now that you've become a fully monetized channel and are just around the corner on um, your second cruise channel.
Yeah. So one of the things is that like for me, like my cruise channel has a whole bunch of stuff on it that doesn't need to be there, but I'm not about to go back and delete that, because I don't want to lose those watch hours, and I don't want to lose those subscribers that all came in with that. And a lot of people are not looking in the past, right? They're really looking forward. And then they may discover, oh, well, she's got this video that says she moved her weight loss content. Well, what's that about? Maybe I'll go over check her weight loss channel out. So like there's no need really to delete stuff if you're going to split your channel. And the other thing, yeah, people are really looking at like usually your most newest stuff. And one of the big things about your videos is really like click through rate. That's really like
Yeah.
what is most important. So make your thumbnails uh, interesting enough that somebody's going to want to click on it and it speaks to the content of the video. But also remember that YouTube is going to first serve up your video to your subscribers. If your subscribers aren't clicking on your video because it's often left field from what they normally watch, then it's not going to get pushed further out to new people to click on that video. So you really got to remember, well, let's serve the people who are watching and make sure we're close enough in niche for them to want to click on it. And then the more that they click on it, then the more other people are going to be served that video. So that's why it's important for me not to be doing a uh, cruise cabin review on one video and then a packing video on another, because those
Mm-hmm.
are going to get served to 2 different audiences. And then it's just going to confuse everything, because if they serve the packing video to everybody and then only half the people click on it, well, then I put out my cabin tour and they're going to serve it to less people, but maybe those are only the packing people, and then they're not going to click on it because they don't care about my room. So it's just like this snowball effect. So that's why it's so important to be so focused in your niche and try and have your content uh, close enough that the same type of people are going to be wanting to see it. What's the other one? And
You
also things
certainly
real.
understand that
Yeah,
strategy and
yeah,
how to grow the channel. It is
yeah.
you're so dialed into that because I keep hearing you go back to that as I'm
Yeah,
listening
because
to how you're
I learned
responding.
a lot of that in the course that I took, and we do chat about that a lot, especially if someone's having struggles with their channel. Like I'm a little bit struggling with if you seek Amy K right now. Not that I'm not doing great. Look, I think for a YouTube channel, I still think that I'm doing great. Could I be growing faster? Absolutely. But I don't have as much time for that channel as because I put way more effort into Amy loses it because it's it's an easier topic and it's just doing better. It's getting more views. Uh,
Mhm.
so yeah, so definitely that's one of the things that we talk about. Also, too, like you can't really compare yourself to someone else because I have someone in my group who is putting out the same content, but she hit a like a viral video and got like 40,000 views. And honestly, I hope she doesn't see this. I thought my video was way better than hers. Uh,
Mm.
but but the thing is like it just didn't get served to the people that needed to get served to. And so her videos have done way better. Like she got monetized. Like we put out our videos kind of at the same time, and she ended up getting like 1,000 subscribers in a couple of days. And here I am. I got like my 50. Uh, but it's you know what I mean? Like it's so hard because
Yeah.
sometimes people will watch the most hideous videos and you're like, how did this get
Yeah.
400,000 views?
Yeah.
So there's a lot that you can't control, but really the goal is to set your strategy so to control the things that you can. And
Mm.
so make sure that your titles are searchable as far as like the content. Like what is the video about? For my cruise, I'm always putting casino and cruise and free like in the first couple words. And
Yeah.
if you go into like the videos themselves on the channel. So I try to make sure that like those keywords that people are going to look up are going to be in the first couple words. For my weight
Mhm.
loss, I usually almost always have Zepbound or Manjaro or GLP-1 in my title, or weight
Mhm.
loss. Oh, and you know what? I don't put weigh in my title names. And that's
Mm.
because if you search weigh in, it comes up with boxing. And
No.
I learned
Not
that.
that.
I learned
You
that
learned it the
from
hard way, huh?
searching. I learned it from searching YouTube. I'm like, okay, well, let me start researching the titles that I'm looking to use. And I'm like, weigh in. Everything with weigh in came up to the guys before a boxing match, standing on the scale. And I'm like, oh, well, scrap that. Let's weight loss. So weight loss
Mhm.
worked, and Manjaro worked, and Zepbound worked, and GLP-1. So, all of those good
Got you
things.
closer to your viewers that you were hoping to
Yes.
get connected to your content.
Yeah, but you'll notice if you look at your analytics that most of the people that see your videos, they come from the recommended feed or browse features. So that is where you're like browsing through your YouTube and your face is popping up in someone's recommendations. And one of the ways to make sure that your subscribers are seeing you is that, that they're subscribed, that people are subscribed. So they'll be more likely to be served your video. But you'll even notice that people that you watch regularly sometimes will start falling out of your recommendations because they're not serving up content that you want to watch. So you stop clicking and they go away. So
Mhm.
you got to keep people clicking on your video, and keep YouTube sending it to people that are interested in what you're putting out. That's
So keep
really.
serving up content that folks
Hmm.
want to see, okay, and
Yeah.
that you want to create as a creator. Keep
Hmm.
serving up that content. Once you get a video that gets some traction under it,
Yeah.
use those analytics. Speaking of
Hmm.
analytics, how many times in a day and in a week are you down in YouTube Studio checking out your analytics?
It's up all day long because I have my iPad sitting next to me while I'm working. And honestly, I'm either watching a YouTube video, listening to a live stream, or I have my studio up. It's just, I'm sure one day I won't be that hyper focused on it, but I'm constantly in there checking. And I know people are like, oh, you don't need to check it all that often, but whatever. I'm over here looking at that $58 I've made so far, and just like, I just, just waiting for that to go up, because it's just amazing to me that I've actually made $58. I got monetized December 31st. So, and so let me tell you about the power of marketing yourself. So
Okay.
I know that we'd only agreed to do 90 minutes, but if you've got the time,
I was going to ask you,
yeah,
can you, I know you've talked about a back injury. Do you have,
yeah,
can you, can you work with us for 5 more minutes? Because I know
yeah,
folks,
I've got
folks
as
in
much
here
time
feel
as you,
confident to talk.
yeah, I've got as much time as you have available. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Well,
so,
let's try to push it to 10 more minutes then,
okay.
and go from there. But yeah, share with whatever you can share.
Hmm.
I'm leaned in, Amy. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the power of marketing yourself. So I woke up on December 31st and I think I was 12 subscribers from 1,000. And I'm like, I need to make this happen. I want 2025 for this channel to be fully monetized. I had more than enough watch hours, right? Because people are watching my content. Like if you look at my videos, like the average view is like 9 minutes. And my videos are pretty short. I try to keep them under 15 minutes because I don't want to bore people to death. But people do watch my live streams too, so I get a lot of watch hours from the live stream. So I had the watch hour thing down. I was at like 5,500 already, but I'm like, I need
You
those
told
12
me that.
subscribers.
I'm like, that doesn't make sense because most folks, when they are on that last mile
Hmm.
towards monetization, usually it's what they need most is the watch hours.
Hmm.
And
Um,
yours was flipped. And I'm like, what?
hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
In your case,
both
it did
channel,
because
honestly,
you
both
told me you had
channels.
5,500 watch hours. And I'm like, does that
I'm
include your
well,
shorts or
I'm
not? And you were like, no.
I don't really have shorts. I don't. Yeah, so that's another thing. Let's talk about the New Year's Eve thing, and then let's talk about shorts because that's a hot
Let's
topic
let's
everybody
talk
wants to
about New
talk about.
Year's, and then I'm gonna hold shorts, and I'll remind you about shorts after that. Let's talk
Yeah,
about New
so
Year's, and you needed 12 subscribers to get to
12
your one.
subscribers. So, I was working that day. It was December 31st, and I was working. I was probably like the only person at my company working. So here I am with my iPad up, working, and I'm like, well, what can I do? Well, who's on live today? Let's go chat. You know what I mean? So, like, but these are people that I have formed relationships with. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
Vicky over at Foodie's Vacation,
I
JC
love her,
Calamity
don't you?
Jane,
Yeah.
yeah, like Margarine and Joe from Joe's Sleep and Slim Down Journey, Tuber Chat. And then everybody's like, well, why don't you go hit up Kendi K because she's going to be live. Make sure that you go and say hi and introduce yourself and let her know how close you are and she'll shout you out. So then you did that post. And then right before, so then I did that. And then I went on Downsizing Diva and I said hello. It was my first live with her. And she was really great. Loved, loved, loved the live. They did a vision board for 2026. That was so
Oh,
much fun. And I'm running into tons of people that I know that come join my lives and watch my channel. So, I come in there and people already know who I am, which is great because I've been promoting myself, not
yeah.
right, not in a disingenuine way, but I know
No,
that I want to
not
be
a
part of this community and I do care about the people I'm interacting with. But I need to promote myself because this is a business at the end of the day for it's a business. So
Did
I
y'all
would
hear
just
that? If you want your channel to grow, you've got to treat it
like the
and
business.
invest your time and effort in it like it's a business. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just beat the bushes is what I called it. I just like,
Yeah.
hello, I am so close. Is there anybody interested in my type of content that would like to watch
Yeah.
my videos? Come say hello, check out a video. If you like it, subscribe. If you feel like you're going to watch my videos in the future, subscribe to the channel. So by the time I got to Kim K, or Kim, I have a
Kim J.
subscriber named Kim K. So I always get Kim K and Kim J confused. But by the time I got to Kim J's live stream with her and Felicia Marie B, which was fabulous. We had so much
I
fun.
remember that live stream. Yes, yes,
Oh, it was so
yes.
much fun. We did a word connect game, and Cookie kept taking the trophy from me every time I turned around. Uh, but by the time I got to her live stream about 10 p.m., I had hit my monetization. So I got my subscribers by just going and working it.
Yeah.
So, just standing up with a sign for myself saying, hey, like, this is where I'm at, and this is where I need to be, and I would appreciate support. So,
Yeah,
uh,
there's so many supportive communities. Connect and grow communities is what we call
mhm,
them, like Shop Talk, where I stream
mhm,
live creator Q&A, and essentially for the small and new content creator. And we've got Tuber Chat, and Tuber Chat has been here and probably, sent the stream out, shared the stream, doing all those things. And Amy, you're right. If you are your brand in the YouTube streets,
mhm,
every creator is their own brand. And it was so easy for me because I already knew it was easy for me to do that community post, let folks know where you were, send out an appeal on your behalf. Because
mhm,
one, you had been on Shop Talk, you had been contributing in positive ways to the Shop Talk discussion. I knew you already from The Boss Way, JC Calamity Jane, Hamani, Stealth Health India, and
mhm,
Joe Sleep Slim Down Journey. I already knew your face, and I knew a bit about you, and so it was my pleasure. It was my pleasure, and sure enough, when I woke up the next morning, I saw your post saying, "We did it! We did it! Thanks so much!" And again,
yeah,
I like your content. I like your hustle, frankly, as a content creator, and just keep going, and
yeah,
keep growing. Now, we already teased. We're going to talk a little bit
mhm,
about shorts. What are your thoughts on shorts? And I'm being quiet. We're going to listen to you.
mhm. Okay, so there's lots of conjecture out there on shorts. Well, I'm not a shorts channel, I'm a long form channel. And people like to watch my content in horizontal and not vertical. So everything I do, I'm doing to serve the people that watch my channel. A lot of people watch it on TV, a lot of people watch it on their iPad, some people watch it on their phone. But I'm just not serving that segment of the population that is more likely to watch shorts. My personal stance on it for my channel is that shorts don't really serve me very well. It seems like every time I've released a short, I've had a couple times where it tanked both of my channels. Like I went from getting like 500 views every 48 hours to almost nothing. So I use shorts very sparingly, and it's only when I have something extremely, like, I don't know, just extremely catching to say. Like I did one short about how I was denied Zepbound when my weight was not even on the BMI chart in the dietitian's office, but then they wouldn't prescribe me Zepbound. And I'm like, you can't be serious, right? Like the irony of that, like my weight's not even on your chart. And you're going to tell me that I shouldn't be taking a weight loss medication? Like, what's wrong with you? So,
Exactly.
I did make a short for that, but I don't really get subscribers from shorts. I get a little bit of views, but they don't really count for much of anything. And they don't really count for the watch hours.
Mhm.
And I spend so much time and effort trying to do a short. It takes me longer to do that than a long form video. So now when I first started my cruise channel, I did do a lot of shorts, and that was me just trying to figure out how to work the softwares, because everything that I trained on was pro level. And so here I
Mhm.
am with like consumer level stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out like how to use the programs like Canva, and I use a unusual video editor called VN. It's just an app for my iPad, and it's great. It's super user friendly, and I recommend it to anybody that doesn't want to use CapCut. It's way better than iMovie, and it's not nearly as complicated as like DaVinci Resolve or any of those other programs. And VN stands for Video Now, so it's a super user friendly, really easy program to use. So I was just kind of like, oh, well, let me just try this. Let me just try putting some shorts out there, and maybe, maybe people will start seeing my stuff. So I just started gathering photos of places I've been, like Switzerland and Norway and I've been to South Africa and Botswana and all
Wow.
those places. So I just started like putting little things together and then just sticking that out there. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I'm spending like 3 hours doing a short. I was like doing one a day. And then I got up the courage to start long form videos. And then I realized the shorts weren't really serving my purpose. They weren't in my niche. So,
Mhm.
I don't do them unless like I really have something that people really are going to want to see. Like when I went to on what was it, the Wonder of the Seas, and we went to the Bahamas to Nassau, and their island was being built, like the Royal Beach Club. I knew
Mhm.
people would want to see progress photos
Move.
of the
Yes.
Royal Beach Club. So I went out there and I did like a 15-second short and showed the Royal Beach Club, and I got a lot of views, but it doesn't really count for anything. And then
Nope.
also, I don't do my lives in both horizontal and vertical. I know a lot of people
What
do theirs.
share your thoughts on that? Because I
Bec-
do. I
yeah.
intentionally do my live streams in horizontal and vertical for shop talk and
Hmm.
coffee and conversations. But then at times I only do vertical. And then
Yeah.
when we're doing long format content, it's almost always horizontal or what they call
Yeah.
it.
Honestly, I've never tested it, so I don't know what impact it would have on my channel to do it in both. So I really don't know like what that would do for me, because it is a newer format that has been released. And so the thing is, though, do I necessarily want the short watching demographic? Are they going to fit the demographics that's watching my channel? Because mine is pretty much like 40 and up.
Mhm.
I mean, I
Same
do
here.
watch,
Same
yeah, I
here.
mean, I do watch shorts, but is it gonna, it's rare that I'm ever gonna watch something on my phone without turning the phone to horizontal. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I guess I'm old enough that I'm like, oh, well, let's just turn the phone. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like,
that's what people in my generation, and Amy is just a tad bit over 50, and
yeah.
y'all know I turned 50. And so even if I watch content from my phone,
Hmm.
I'm all, I watch content on my phone, I'm gonna hit play and then I'm gonna turn that thing this way. But there are
Yeah.
so many younger generations and folks who frankly are my
Yeah.
age and older who still watch everything in a vertical. And
Hmm.
as long as you are over 3 minutes, it's going to count it all as vertical anyway. Really, anything over like 30 seconds is counted
Yeah.
as a long format video for those purposes.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we end on time, and thank you for these extra moments for content creation. I love that about you, that you are sharing. What can folks check out if they are interested in the course that you took when you invested in yourself and your content creation journey? They can drop down in the description box of this video.
Hmm.
Amy provided all the links so that you all can get a discount on that course, and so definitely go through the links that are in the description box of this. Amy,
Hmm.
anything else you want to share about the course and what you have to offer in the links that are available now in the description box?
Well, I do want to say, so there's two courses there. One is the YouTube After 40 course, and one is a retirement travel course, and it's about retiring retiring and using credit card points and hotel points to help cover your travel. And it's also about retiring abroad. So I just signed up for that course. So you can sign up for one and then later decide to do the second, and then they'll give you, I think it's $100 discount. So you don't have to do them both at one time if you just want to check out one and see how that is. But honestly, the feedback that I've gotten through the community has been amazing. So I will have to shout out that Linnell from Poverty to Paradise. So if anybody's familiar with cruising content, Linnell,
Yes, that's the lady. Yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm subscribed to her. Yes, yes,
yeah.
love her.
So I usually talk to her. I actually pay for coaching as well. I pay $59 a month for coaching. And so one week I'll talk to Rob Marmion, who is from Grounded Life Retirement Travel. Rob and Allie run those channels. And then the next week I'll have a chat. There's a group chat with Linnell. So right now it's small enough that all of us get on a video call and chat about YouTube strategy. They look at our channels and give us in-depth feedback. So
Oh,
I think that's one of the greatest things about even just the community aspect is there's so many content creators that have gotten monetized while in the community. Like they
so
have an
it's when you
unbelievable.
take the course, and then that gives you access to this community of content creators who are
Yeah.
trying to really level up. Okay.
And they usually do annual group trips as well. So I'm going on a trip with about 50 of them in May.
Oh,
So I'm gonna
that's
I'm gonna
cool.
have a chance to meet a lot of them in person, and we're gonna take some classes, and we're gonna do lots of excursions together. And of course, we're gonna break out our cameras and record everything that we're doing.
It's all content,
So
right?
yeah, so it's just really a community to support my goals to be a YouTube content creator. So I do deeply care about the diet community and my diet, uh, my diet journey, but I care about the money potential that I can make from my channel. So,
Same
so
here. And
I have to support that. Yeah.
that's why I rock with you, Amy, in the YouTube
Yeah.
streets. And I'm learning so much from you as a content creator, as a monetized content creator as well.
Hmm.
But I'm still got channel goals, and you are
Yeah.
helping so many to get there, including myself. So again, thank you for this interview. Amy, tell us
You're
what's
welcome.
coming up next for you for this week on both of your channels. You've got the last words here, Amy.
Thank you. So this week, next up really is Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I have the live on Amy Loses It. I am taking an off week from If You Seek Amy K because I need to come up with ideas. so, so If You Seek Amy K will not have a video out this week because I'm really busy at work. And I did put out a video this past Monday. I highly encourage anybody uh to check it out on my Amy Loses It channel. It came out after you took this photo, so it is not on
Okay.
there. But it's called Which One Wins is what it's called. So it's about the 3 different medications. Uh but yeah, live stream 6 p.m. Eastern time. And do I have a topic yet? I don't know that I have. I thought I had a topic. I have to dig one up. But yeah, I do my weigh in and then got to dig up a topic for that. But yeah, so that as far as that, I I haven't planned out that far in advance because my brain is in accounting mode right now with work. Work's really consuming my life. So at the moment, but
I,
yeah, it's
I
just great
echo.
to be here.
Oh, and thank you again for accommodating us. Gemini Diva has said it all. We'll be watching you, Amy, and we'll
Oh,
be hopefully seeing
fantastic.
less of you on your weight loss journey and more of your great cruise content and your travels throughout the world. Thank you so much. And thank you to Grant, and thank you to Sandra for becoming a member on my channel, part of
Ooh,
DK's crew. Thank you all. This has been amazing.
congratulations.
Amaze balls. You're going to hear some music on our way out of here, but thank you all for joining us. This has been great. This wasn't like doing a live stream at all. It's just like having coffee and a conversation. Thank you all.
Yeah, it's that time again, we shine again. From Memphis to the Northwest wind. It's love, it's life, it's every day. You can decay all day. Morning light, coffee in hand. Making moves with a master plan. Simple things make the spirit stay. We find our joy in the everyday.